Hi, everyone. This is Emily Sheltry-Kuno here with some very quick tips on how to put your best foot forward at the career fair. So the next career fair will be February 5th from 11 a.m. to 4 p.m. in the IRC. So in this session, we will cover who should attend the career fair, managing networking anxiety, and then some great strategies to make sure you feel your best for the career fair. So, first of all, who should attend? I think everyone should attend the career fair. Employers will be seeking interns, co-ops, full-time candidates. And even if maybe you're not looking for one of those opportunities, it'll still help you know what to expect when you decide that you are looking for those opportunities. It's also an amazing way to just practice your networking skills. So, our great Student Health and Counseling Center has shared a few strategies with us to help you just feel prepared, feel grounded when you actually get to the fair. So, this career fair will have about 140 different booths with employers, and sometimes that can be a very loud, maybe even overwhelming situation. So, this is a great way to just help yourself calm down your nervous system a little bit. So, you can pause here and try this out if you'd like. It's very simple, just naming out loud or in your head 5 things that you see, 4 things that you feel, 3 things that you hear, 2 things that you smell, and 1 thing that you taste or an emotion that you feel. So just practice that, see if that helps calm you down a little bit. Before the fair, it's also a really great idea to do some research on Handshake, and I'll show you how to do that here. So the website is clarkson.joinhandshake.com, and then you would log in with your on-campus standard login information. From the homepage, just click Events, Career Fairs, and then the in-person fair. From here, you can see your schedule of prep events, employers. There will be a map posted here as well, but that will be just a little bit closer to the actual fair date. So from this tab, you can actually filter by lots of different things. So maybe say that you were looking for an internship, and let's say maybe you were a computer science major. This will pop up everyone who has internships in computer science. One thing that's important to note here is not every company or representative that is attending will always know exactly what that company is hiring for. So if you were going through the overall list of everyone who's coming, don't be afraid to just walk up and say hi, even if maybe it doesn't necessarily say that they are looking for your major. That doesn't mean that they would never hire your major. So from here, scroll through, see if anybody sticks out to you. Some of these are, very different organizations. And so if you click on a company's profile, you can also actually read a little more about them. So read what they do, check if they have any jobs posted. So this is a good example of one that is coming to the career fair. So they definitely do have job openings. They just don't have anything posted, and that's okay. So, that would be a very brief look at how you actually do some research. We do typically recommend reading through, asking yourself why you might be a good fit for that specific role. So, say for example, you were really interested in the Wesson Group. Think a little bit about not just why you are looking for a job, but why you might be especially excited about a job with that organization. So, for example, with the Wesson Group, it might be just that you have a really good conversation at the career fair, or it might be that you checked LinkedIn and you know that we have lots of alumni who work there. So try to have an idea of what might connect you to that company in some way. Then, on that same page, as I mentioned, there will be a map available. That's how you can plan and just make sure you sort of know your route through the career fair. You should also be a little bit ready to just talk about yourself, answer questions, etc. And we will talk about that in just a little bit. So an elevator pitch is a really great way to prepare yourself to talk about yourself if it's something maybe you're not quite used to. So it's called an elevator pitch because it's short enough to present in an elevator. It's a recap of who you are and what you do. Again, it's ideal if you're able to actually research ahead of time and just think a little bit about why that specific organization is exciting to you. If, for example, you were walking around the career fair and you noticed a company that maybe, for example, had a cool model airplane, it's okay to just let them know that you didn't maybe do research about them, but something about their booth or about their display caught your eye. And so you have some follow-up questions about that. You can pause here if you'd like, just to read through that example here and try it out. I always recommend not scripting yourself word for word because then sometimes it can feel in person like you're reading or like you have scripted yourself, but just do your best to follow this as a guideline. So, it's also a great idea to follow your elevator pitch with some kind of conversational question. You might ask about company culture. So, for example, what are some skills or traits that would make me really successful at BAE? Maybe you ask about a specific role. So, if in your handshake research you saw that there was a job posted that you're really excited about, you might say, "Hey, I noticed that you're hiring chemical engineering interns. What would a typical day for an intern look like at Ramble?" You could also just ask the recruiter about their own experience. So, what kinds of things do managers at the Wesson Group do to make sure that employees are staying on top of their game? How long have you been working at Saint-Gobain? Or even just, it was wonderful talking to you. It was great learning more about Whiting Turner. Could I connect with you on LinkedIn to stay in touch? Another thing that helps a lot of people really feel their best is attire. So for the career fair, typically we recommend business professional, business formal, and usually that would include a full suit, maybe a button-up shirt with a tie or a nice blouse. Traditionally, business professional would be neutral colors like gray, navy, black. But of course, think a little bit about who you are and your personality. And if that's not you, maybe you experiment a little bit with what colors you're wearing. Business attire is also great. So typically that would include a button-up shirt and tie, but it might maybe not include a blazer or a coat. So think about that. It's important to keep in mind that while dress shoes would be standard for both of these, just remember that our recruiters know that you're coming from outside on our campus. It's likely to be snowy and slippery. So we really do recommend wearing shoes that are comfortable and that are going to keep you safe. So don't worry too much about wearing dress shoes. Ideally, it's great if you can iron your shoes. Um, just be mindful of distractions. And most importantly, clothing is not as important as making meaningful connections. So please do not let that be a barrier to your success. Anyone that you want to really work with, anyone that's going to be a great fit, um, is not going to be as concerned with what you're wearing as who you are as a candidate and what your experiences are. Do your best and feel free to visit us in the Career Center for help if you feel, that we could provide something. So during the fair, we recommend arriving as early as you can, um, not before 11, but if, for example, you feel that an extra 5 minutes or 10 minutes would just help you to feel centered, or maybe you want to go through that exercise that we shared from Student Health and Counseling, feel free. Typically, it's a great idea to bring resumes. Come stop by our table. We will be right near the entrance to the IRC, and we can help you locate employers. We can help you figure out maybe who you'd like to talk to. And then it's a really great idea to just remind yourself to end conversations with thank you or it was nice meeting you. And that just makes sure that that employer, even though sometimes it can feel like maybe a quick conversation, just letting them know that you appreciate their time and their effort. So after the fair, um, it's a really great idea to record names or record important reminders. So if we have a public record of who attended for a specific company, we may be able to help you, but in a lot of cases, we don't actually know who the specific representatives are for each company. And so it's a really good idea if, while it's still fresh in your brain, you just write down the company and the name of the person that you talked to. You can also send selective thank you notes. Those might be through LinkedIn or through Handshake. And if you pause here, this is just one example where the person is really reminding that recruiter what they talked about and why they think they might be a good fit for the organization, while of course also saying thank you. If you shared your resume or your contact info at the career fair, it is very, very important to remember to check your phone and your email. If you feel that maybe you don't always have your phone on you, maybe you're worried about somebody calling while you're in class or at a practice, just make sure you have a nice outgoing message. And that can be as simple as um, you've reached Emily at Clarkson. I'm not available to take your call at the moment, but I'll call you back as soon as possible. Make sure it's professional. And again, check your phone and email because some of our recruiters will reach out very quickly. It may even be the same day as the career fair, while others may take a week or two. So you don't want to miss offers for interviews or any questions that they might have about you. So the Thursday after the fair, so in this case, February 6th, that will be interview day. That will also take place in the IRC. Sometimes employers don't know exactly which booth they'll be at, so make sure you just check in with us at the front door. We'll let you know exactly where to sit, where to go. If you have questions, you can check out our intranet page for resources. So that is actually intranet.clarkson.edu. And it will likely also make you sign in with your Duo account. If you click Student Life and Career Center, we have lots of great resources here, but this one specifically covers offers and negotiations, as well as interview best practices. So if the Career Center isn't available to meet with you, our intranet page is a great place to check. If you do have questions, the Career Center always sends out quite a few emails before the career fair with tips and tricks, videos like this, resources. And we will also be hosting some specific Resumania events. So those will be January 27th and 28th, as well as today, the 24th. Check your email for times and locations, but again, come see us if you have any questions. We will also have some really great drop-in workshops. So Monday, January 27th from 1 to 2:30, we will have a resume workshop where we'll talk about building a resume, do a peer review. Tuesday, the 28th from 1 to 2:30, we will talk about elevator pitches. Wednesday, the 29th from 11 to 12, we will have a LinkedIn and following up after the fair workshop. And then finally, Thursday, the 30th from 10 a.m. to 12 p.m., there will be a group drop-in, kind of open hours and final questions about the career fair. All of these will be in the Career and International Center's conference room in the ERC. Check your email. This is also all on a flyer as well. Thank you so much for listening. And again, please email us at career@clarkson.edu or check your email for any questions.